The biggest problem with work is how our economy treats the people who do it, because according to the rules, they have to submit to the commands of wealthy individuals who possess the money to hire others. But here you might interject and say, but there are some laws and regulations that prevent employers from being abusive. Yes, but then workers must rely on these laws and regulations, which are legislated by politicians who tend to have a very good relationship with people who have money. But you might also say, it's really about education skills. For example, I have a decent job because I study hard in school. Well, it might work for you right now, but who knows for how long, because there are mechanisms put in place to make your contribution as dispensable as possible. For example, there's a management philosophy called Taylorism, which breaks up complex enterprises into mechanical tasks that can be performed by cheap, unskilled labor. Companies are then more than happy to outsource these jobs to places with a lot less labor protection. In this way, you will never be very safe with your job because the system is designed to function that way. Well, you might say, at least I get some cheap goods out of this process. When labor costs less, things cost less. Well, to some extent, you might save a little money, but the greatest gain goes to corporations. Moreover, as a society, we pay a lot for this type of production that constantly tries to cheat workers. We end up with things that are bad for our bodies, bad for the environment, and bad for culture. And even if you don't care, these mass-produced commodities don't give us great satisfaction because they're made poorly and will be obsolete quickly. And if you're lucky enough to hold a well-paying job that is still around, ask yourself, if it is really meaningful to society, does it maximize your strengths and interests, speak to your dreams and aspirations, and give you all the freedom and possibility to be your best? So which part of this whole thing makes any sense? People who do work are the ones who make everything happen, and yet we structure society in a way so that they're constantly made to be dependent, precarious, and struggling. Not only that, they're forced to work so much that they have little time to contribute to communities, to develop their individuality, or to engage in politics as active citizens, while humanity is being threatened because we're overproducing. Therefore, the key to a fair, just, and prosperous society is the way it treats its workers. Which brings up the difficult problem of decision-making. We need to produce things, we need to get people to work, but who should make all the decisions? Capitalism chooses the very simple solution. Whoever has money makes all the decisions. But this is not very optimal or fair. While it is not easy for workers in society to come together, we should not give up on what's right just because it's messy and complicated. In the same way, just because democracy is neither fast or unanimous, we don't just go for a dictator, although it might feel tempting at times. Learning how to make economic decisions in an egalitarian and collective fashion that takes different interests and social well-being into account is what's most missing in our education. The future needs to start with new schemes of decision-making. It needs to start when you and I are determined to find an answer and start talking about it all the time. Because when we do not come up with a plan, the opponents will tell you that what's just, amazing, and good can never be. But that was always being said until people refuse to believe it. So let's do it again and build a society that truly honors those who work.